What is up, you guys? Matt from Our Process, and today I want to talk to you guys about a class I have been taking at my school for the past couple weeks, ever since my senior year started. And like you guys know, I am a senior in high school right now, and something really awesome about senior year is you get the opportunity to actually pick some of the classes that you're actually interested in. And last year I was actually in an English class. And in that English class, we talked a lot about different texts throughout history and about different, just ways of thinking throughout history. And one part of that was about this pre-Enlightenment philosophy. And we talked about a lot of these really deep, philosophical thinkers. And in that and from that class, I just got a lot of interest in just the entire world of philosophy and about understanding different perspectives and stuff. And basically, I didn't even know this last year, but my school actually offers a philosophy class when you become a senior. So now that I am a senior, I got to pick some of my classes, like some of the classes that I was actually interested in. And one of those classes was philosophy, and right now, I'm currently in that class, and this is the class that I'm talking about. And guys, this philosophy class is really eye-opening. I've learned some things that I would have never even understood or would have never even been exposed to if I haven't been if I wasn't in this class. And it's only been what 2 or 3 weeks since school has started, and I feel like my mind is at a whole nother level of understanding and of just understanding perspective and stuff. And so it's a really interesting class, and my teacher is absolutely amazing. His whole mission is just helping us understand just different perspectives and about helping us understand our own truths. Because something that my teacher talked about in this philosophy class is the purpose of this class. The purpose of this philosophy class is not to have him impose his opinions on different things and have us make and to have us think that it's 100% right. The purpose of the class is to gain an understanding of the world and of different perspectives, so that we can start to develop what we think is true, and so that we can start to develop just our truth and what we believe is true in these different perspectives and in these things that we're learning in class. So basically, what he calls this class our path to truth. And he said but by the end of this class, he wants us to get a couple steps closer to really understanding what we believe is true in each of our lives. So like I said, this class really eye-opening. The reason why I'm making this video is it's to kind of expose you guys to a little bit of what I'm learning, and to just give you the overall just lesson for why learning this type of stuff and learning different people's perspectives about and whether you agree with these perspectives or not, and why this can really help you and change you in so many different ways as well, and what you believe is true. So basically, I was just doing some of my homework, and I think some of the homework that we were reading was different texts from different religions around the world. So for me, I'm Christian. I'm a Catholic in the Christian religion, but I'm learning about Confucianism and Buddhism and Hinduism and all these different religions. And I was just being exposed to these different religions, and I'm not saying that I believe in those things. It was just what I think was best about me, even though I'm a Christian and even though I have my own beliefs. I think it was so incredible and eye-opening to be able to read these different texts from these different religions, so that I can start to better understand what other people's perspectives are on these religions, and understand people's perspectives on why they believe this and how they try to live their life, and why they live their life in that sort of way. And something that I've just kind of noticed from just these past couple weeks is so many of these different religions that I'm starting to learn about, and all these different perspectives are actually so similar to what I believe in the Christian religion, and what I think is true with my religion and just in my life in general. And I think the really cool part about that is in life. And I'm just starting to think about this right now, in life, and with in different religions and different perspectives, we all try to see what's so different about each other. We try to look at the things that make us different, the things that make me right, and the things that make you wrong. All these different things that make us different. When it's so amazing how all these different perspectives and all these different religions and stuff actually have one core message. and that one core message is just like, just being a good person, and how to treat other people, and just being, and just being happy in your own life, and just like that one just strong central message of love. You know what I'm saying? Loving your neighbor, loving yourself, loving everyone that you meet, no matter who it is. Like, and that is what really connects, all of humanity when you really think about it. Like, whether we're, no matter what race we may be, no matter what, no matter what race we may be, no matter what culture we are, no matter what background we come from, no matter what perspective we have on life, the one central thing that connects each and every single one of us is that idea of love. And just like reading these different texts and stuff really, solidified that fact. That like, even though we all have our different, perspectives on life, we all just want to better ourselves, and we want to be able to better, each other, and helping each other, and just overall just loving each other unconditionally. And that's what really is the thing that connects all human beings. But with all these differences, it's almost as if we like try to use love against each other. Like, oh, I have more love than you do, or my religion talks more about love than yours does, or oh, my religion is the only one that talks about love. And that's why I really believe that you should get exposed to all these different perspectives, and all these different religions, and all these different ways of thinking and ways of life. Even though you may not believe in those things, just by understanding those things, and by conceptualizing those things in your life, like, it just broadens your understanding of other people's perspectives and their ways of life, so that you can, understand your own at the exact same time. Because if you only learn, one thing, if in my whole own life I only learned about Christianity, then I can't truly say that I am a Christian, because that's the only thing that I've ever been taught. You know what I'm saying? But if I've been taught, all these other religions as well, if I've, gotten exposed to those things, then from that I can pick and choose, what I believe is true in my own life. So, even being exposed to these things, it's funny, like, you think the opposite, but like, when you are exposed to all these different religions, it's not like you're changing your beliefs, you're actually strengthening your beliefs, because, even being exposed to those things, you still, stayed true, and you stayed, faithful to whatever you believe is true, so like, I think it's so crucial for all of us, no matter what, religion you are, no matter what, culture you're from. It's so important to get exposed, and to at least understand, and at least, think about the other perspectives that life has to offer, because for us guys, it's about us, and like broadening our understanding about life, about broadening our understanding about what, just people understand in general, and to not just say that, you're wrong and I'm right. We're both right, because that's what we both believe is true. Like, you can never tell someone that that they're wrong. You can never tell someone that their idea, or their way of life, or the way that they think, or the things that they think is true, is stupid. Like, you can't say that, because that's what they believe is true, and that's what you believe is true. So basically, you're both right. There's no right and wrong, and that's what we try to do in society, and that's what we try to do in the world. There's so many similarities that we have in each of our ways of life, but we try to, differentiate ourselves based on these like different ideas that we may have, when in actuality, like, we're a lot more similar than we all think. And the ways that we think and the way that we live are a lot more similar than we think. And although, the methods as to which we may live our life may be different, like, the reasons why we live our life in that way are all the same, and that is just to love ourselves and to love others, and to create happiness for ourselves, and to create happiness for the world around us. And that's really what connects us all. And that's why, again, I think it's so important to just broaden your horizon of the perspective that you have on this world, because when you look at everything in a broad sense, and you start to really just go deep into everyone's different perspectives and everyone's truths, you start to understand more about your own truth, and you start to take that step after step after step on your own path to what you believe is true in your own life and in your way of life, and on your own journey of that path to your ultimate truth as a person. Don't limit yourself to the perspectives that you are exposed to. Go out and expose your own self to those different perspectives, so that you can get closer and closer to your truth, and on that path, strengthen that belief, and strengthen whatever you may believe in the way of life that you should take on, and that can only be achieved through understanding all the different perspectives, and by picking and choosing from those, and forming what is the truth in your own life. So So yeah, guys, I mean, that is basically, this video, and I definitely want to make a lot more videos about this philosophy class, and what I'm learning about, what I'm understanding more about my own life and what I think is true, and like, and just talk about that, because this is a really interesting journey that I'm going on, because a lot of what I've already been through in my life has just added a lot more to my understanding of the world, and a lot more about my understanding on how I should live my life, loving others and being happy, and just being just an overall good and decent person, and spreading that love and spreading that happiness to the world around me. I've been able to learn that through the experiences that I've had in my life, through understanding the different perspectives that that life has kind of taught me, and that these different religions, and that my own religion of Christianity has also taught me as well. So guys, just don't limit yourself, and really just open your eyes to all these different perspectives, because you never really know what your real truth is when you limit yourself to just one idea or to one perspective, and that's the only thing you've ever seen in your life. So just open up your eyes, guys, and I promise you will get closer and closer to what you believe is true, and on that path to your truth, and you will start to gain a better understanding of yourself and a better understanding of the world around you. And to be able to do that, you can really make the most amount of impact through that, and that's what I think is just most important, is to make that impact using that truth that you have, and using that perspective that you have on life. Once you get a good understanding of of all these different perspectives that are around you, So obviously, I'm a devout Christian. I love my religion, and being exposed to these things doesn't change that. But I think it's just broadening my understanding of the world around me, and how I can get closer to God, and how I can impact others, with this understanding and with my entire life as a whole. So yeah, guys, I mean, that is basically it. Again, I hope you guys can translate this into your own life, and that is the whole purpose of this video. And I really do appreciate you guys listening to this. I hope each and every single one of you has an absolutely amazing day. Keep loving the process. I will see you guys later. Bye.